There are two things that you guys can do right now this spring, two easy steps you can take that are going to dramatically improve the yield that you guys get on your fruit trees this coming summer. And that's what I'm going to show you in this video, is kind of those two key concepts, and show you what I'm doing with mine in order to achieve that. Not only that, it's going to improve the yield of your fruit, but it'll also just help the overall health of this tree, how much it grows, and just its overall life trajectory. So the first kind of concept that we want to focus on is taking away competition from this tree. So that'll be the first thing we do, and then the second thing will just be giving it the nutrients it needs. So let me show you guys how I'm doing that with this tree. All right, so first off, you might notice that there's some other brush coming back in here. We got some raspberry brush trying to get through, and some other old hazel brush that's kind of sneaking up through the areas here where I've got it fenced off. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut down any emergent vegetation that's trying to get established around the roots of this tree. Let's just cut that down quick, and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, so I got all the emergent brush and vegetation and forbs and things that were trying to compete with this tree cut down. That's going to keep trying to come back every year. Just make sure you stay on top of that stuff. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to lay down a bunch of mulch around this tree. I want to make sure that that mulch is going to get all the way out to the drip edge of the tree at a minimum. And in my case, I might even go to the edge of my fencing just because I can't mow on the inside of this. Now, mulching this tree is really important because that's going to suppress all the other grass and weed and competition growth that's trying to fight for the same nutrients and rainwater that this fruit tree is going to be fighting for. That's one of the biggest causes of fruit trees just not living up to your expectations, or if you have a fruit tree that's just sort of stagnating and it's just not putting on much for growth each year in terms of branch length or fruit yield. It's because that tree is fighting with other plants and root structures in that same soil profile, that same soil horizon. Those other grasses and brush and things like that are fighting as tenaciously as this tree is for survival and competing with those root systems. You guys would be shocked at how deep and powerful some grass root structures are, especially like a lot of your more native type grasses around here. Those things will do a number to your fruit tree if you're not keeping them down. So that mulch is going to suppress all that. It's going to kill those weeds and not allow them to compete with our fruit tree. One word of caution on this is I'm going to be using straw mulch here. And I like that just because it's so cheap. I use straw for other things around here. So I usually have a couple square bales of straw laying around. It's usually about $5 or $6 a bale. You can go find it somewhere at a tree nursery by you. But I really like straw for that reason. But just be aware that rodents, things like mice and whatnot, will want to bed in and nest in this straw. Especially, you guys can see it's winter where I'm at up here in northern Minnesota. So make sure you have your tree guards on. You can see I got my white tree guard on this one. This is a beautiful Pembina plum that I planted a couple years ago. I wouldn't plant a fruit tree unless it also has the white plastic trunk guard on it like that. I've just lost too many trees to mice girdling them in the wintertime. Okay, I got the straw all laid out. The key with this is just a nice even layer around the whole thing, a few inches deep. You don't want to overdo this. If you get too carried away with it, I suppose you could hurt the tree if you put too much on there or it got too deep. Whatever type of mulch you're using, I like to keep it back from the graft location at the base of your tree. That's important because you don't want that graft to get buried by debris and soil or things like that. Let's see if my camera will tip over. It's super windy out here if the camera's shaking a little bit, but the other really big benefit to using a mulch like this is it's going to keep that soil moisture higher in that topsoil zone, in that top root zone where the roots are at on this fruit tree. And that's really important. We get some really bad dry stretches each summer. Seems like you get it past the 4th of July into that kind of late July, early August time frame, and we might go a few weeks without rain, couple 2-3 weeks straight. And this mulch does a great job just preserving that soil moisture for us. All right, so let's talk about the second easy step here that's going to explode the fruit tree yield on this tree this year, and that is using the right fertilizer. So I started using these fruit tree stakes, or spikes as people call them. You can just go down to your local home and garden store, whatever that is, a nursery, landscaping place, anything like that. This is just kind of a generic box of these spikes, and this is the citrus version, so it's a little more geared for your fruit trees like this. They give you a little plastic cap that you put onto this stake, and then you just take a mallet or a chunk of wood or something and just tap these down into the ground around the drip edge of your fruit tree. And it's really important you follow the instructions that'll come with your box of them. There is such a thing as too much fertilizer, and I'm normally someone who tends to overdo things. Like if the industry standard says do this, then I always have the mindset like better is more somehow. And with fertilizing your fruit trees, that you definitely want to be careful if you're somebody like that. Just put the recommended amounts in, because you can hurt or even kill your tree if you over fertilize them, or if you do it when the tree is too young. So this was like a 5-foot tall tree nursery, Pembina plum when I bought it. I did not use fruit spikes or these fertilizer spikes the first year. I just used a water jug application of a much lighter dose of fertilizer, at least that first year. Just a quick note here before we jump back to the video. We are in late winter time, and that historically is the worst time of the year for your young pine trees when it comes to deer browsing on them. There's the least amount of food in the forest that there will be at any time throughout the entire year. So these young pine trees start to look pretty good for the deer. So if you're someone who has struggled with deer browse on your young pine trees, you should just go to www.browseblocker.com. We sell these net and clip systems, as a lot of you guys know. You can use them multiple seasons. You should go check them out if that interests you. And if you say that you saw this ad on YouTube, when you go to check out, we will throw in 10 free nets and clips on top of whatever you order. The other thing you'll want to keep in mind with these fruit tree spikes is you don't want to put them in the ground too early, because these are kind of a slow release fertilizer that will really stimulate this tree to start growing and pulling up nutrients. If you do this too early in the spring, you can get this tree to begin its growth curve for the summer, for the growing season. But then if you get some hard frosts or things like that after that tree has initiated that big growth spike, you could again hurt or possibly kill this tree. So I'm not going to put these in today. I'm just getting all my fruit trees mulched today. It's mid-March here when I'm filming this. I'm up in northern Minnesota, hardiness zone kind of 3B where I'm at. So we still got a little bit of winter left here, but come probably May, like late May, maybe even June. I mean, you don't want to rush this and get this tree going too early until winter is well behind you and all of those hard frosts are behind you. The other thing people will do with these fruit spikes is they'll do a second dose of them in the fall. I would not recommend that, where at least if you're in the more cold climates up in the upper Midwest, things like that, be very careful putting these in the fall for that same reason, that it'll send this tree into a new growth cycle once it senses all these rich nutrients it's pulling in, and you can stimulate a bunch of soft, fresh growth on this tree right as you're going into fall, and you get those falling temps, nighttime frosts, things like that. It's just messing with that tree's biology when you don't want to. So the safe play here, and what I do is kind of that late spring, early summer, get your stakes in. I'm just going to dig a little hole in the hay that I put down, tap a few of these in, or whatever the directions are on the box. It's based on the size of your tree's crown. Your branch crown will dictate how many of these you put in. But I'll just get them in here, tap them in, cover them up with straw mulch, and then I get to sit back and just enjoy an explosion of plums. We really love plums at our house here. I got a bunch of different plum tree varieties. I got a bunch of different crabapple varieties, and I just love having fun with stuff like this. One other little side tip for you here. I like to put these metal tags on all my fruit trees. I like to put what the tree species is, the year I planted it, and then I've even got a bunch of young kids. If you have young kids at home, it's kind of fun to let them come with you to the tree nursery and help pick out a fruit tree that they like or that they want. And then I'll put their name on there, and that way they get some ownership. They help me plant the tree. They help me water it its first year, do all this stuff, and it gives the kids a sense of ownership and gets us all out doing stuff as a family, having fun together. And it's a good way to involve your family that way. Plus then the kids always come out here and they want to see if their tree has plums on it, so it's kind of fun. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what your favorite fruit tree planting tips and maintenance techniques are down in the comments. I appreciate you guys watching. Take care, and I will catch you on the next video.